What's good? What's really going on? What's happening with everybody, man? This is The Cleanse coming at you yet again with another insightful topic that could potentially be the building block to your success. I'm looking in health insurance, man. I'm looking at all the insurance providers, right? And what is so interesting about health insurance in particular is that it is so unconventional. It is in direct opposition to traditional insurance models. Okay. Now, if you were to get home insurance or you were to get car insurance, right? The only time that they compensate you for damage is in the event of something serious, right? Like your house burns down, you get in a serious car accident, etc. So for health insurance, it is a lot different in the sense that you can get compensated for things that may just not be as serious as you think, right? Like prescription medication, okay, typical doctor visits, whatever. You can get compensated through health insurance for little things, very little on the grand scheme of things, right? So if we applied that same logic to home insurance or car insurance, it's like you would literally get compensated for anything that happens to your house, from damage, from somebody breaking a window, from a faucet leaking, right? Same thing with car insurance. Like you would get compensated for flat tires. You would get compensated for filling up your gas tank, right? So, and then there would be so much debate over how or who is eligible to receive compensation. And that's actually what's taking place in the health insurance industry, because they have basically set the bar so low, right, for a lot of people through these low deductibles, that you can pretty much receive compensation for very little, right? For the smallest item that you need, the smallest procedure, the smallest visit, whatever, okay? Now, this has had serious consequences in the health insurance industry in particular, right? And you could look more into kind of the economics of that in recent years yourself, but there has been some serious consequences due to this type of way of thinking and the way of operating, okay? So, you know me, I'm always looking into ways to become self-sufficient, right? With the least amount of intervention from governments and foreign entities, okay? So in 2003, health insurance basically created what is called health savings accounts, all right, commonly known as HSAs, okay? So what's great about an HSA is that it's an account that you are able to contribute funds into, all right, earn interest-free, or excuse me, tax-free interest, okay? And it grows infinitely. So each year it will roll over. It's not like every year it resets back to zero, okay? And in addition to that, each year you were able to write it off as a tax deduction, okay? And this means that normally you might have a lot of income that is considered taxable. But if you write off this account as a tax deduction, you will have access to a lot more funds that would normally be taxed, okay? So the criteria to open up a health savings account, all right, is one, you have to have a high deductible. And what a deductible is, it is the amount of money that you have to put up before a health insurance provider can pay for the rest, whatever it may be. This is why so many programs, or so many people, I should say, choose low deductibles, right? Because, like, let's say you have a deductible of $100, okay? So if you pay $100, that means that whatever the procedure or operation is, the health insurance provider will pay the remaining balance, okay? So if you have a low deductible, you're not eligible for an HSA account, all right? That's just not going to work. The reason is, and the reason I am so interested in HSA, besides all of the tax benefits and way to grow equity over time, is that basically you become your own health insurance provider, okay? So the only time you were able to withdraw funds from an HSA is for legitimate medical purposes, all right? And the IRS is the one that defines what is an acceptable medical purpose, right? And there's so many acceptable reasons why you could withdraw funds from these accounts, right? Or from this account, And a lot of these purposes are holistic, are alternative. There's acupuncture, there's chiropractors, there's all sorts of different things. I can't think of off the top of my head. But basically what you are doing is you can use this tax-free revenue in the HSA, okay, for little expenses, right? For the things that you could take care of yourself, right? Whether it be prescription medication, whether it be doctor visits, whether it be, getting some type of acupressure work done, some type of alternative health service, whatever. You can utilize that account in specific for those purposes, okay? But for much more bigger operations, if you happen to come across that and are in need of those services, then what you can do is depend on the health insurance provider to pay for those things, all right? And generally speaking, a high deductible for a family is about $2,500, okay? So that means you will have to fork out, or your family will have to fork out $2,500, okay? And then the insurance company will pay for the rest, all right? So this is a way to become a lot more self-sufficient in terms of how you manage your money, how you manage your health, and how you can grow your wealth without so much interference from foreign entities and governments that really do not have your best interests as their top priority. So I hope that this shines some light on some things, because I'm looking into all sorts of different elements that I normally wouldn't have been interested in, 5 years ago, like health insurance and life insurance and things of this nature, because, I'm taking into consideration the bigger picture of where I'm at and life as in general. But these types of things are useful, not only for your health, not only for your wealth, but also as a way to make the most out of this matrix we live in, okay? Because if you live in this matrix, if you clock in, clock out of work every day, if you go to school, right, if you're paying bills, et cetera, then you're in the matrix. You've decided to be here. You have decided to partake in this borderline capitalistic society where money rules and power follows, okay? So again, health savings accounts is great because it allows you to become essentially more in control of your health choices, more in control of your wealth, okay? And for lack of better words, it enables you to become actually your own health insurance provider, and is able to allow you to grow cash value over time. In addition to that, lastly, one thing I didn't mention was that it can also be used similar to, a Roth IRA or, a 401k, because you can keep these funds in this HSA account until you're 65 years old, right? And never withdraw it, because the only time you could withdraw is for health purposes, right? But if you never withdraw it, you can take all the funds out tax-free when you're age 65. If you have something already set up like a 401k or a Roth IRA or whatever, then you will have another account that can be used for your retirement, can be used for, funding family members, college, whatever you want, right? So I wanted to mention that. I'm glad I remembered, because it's an important factor to take into consideration. But again, everybody, I appreciate you for watching. Look up HSA's health savings account. I actually posted a book yesterday, I believe, from this gentleman that discussed it more in detail and how to go about it. But I mean, this isn't something that's like, you know, sovereign citizen bullshit, you know, creating your own social security cards or any crazy shit like that. It's not illegal, right? It's nothing. There's like 20 million people in America that have HSAs. It was a bill that was passed in 2003. It is something that is just not utilized. It's something that maybe not a lot of people understand or know about. But again, this is about information. This is about passing on the baton to people that could potentially use it for their greater good. So again, much love, Cleanse.